Hey everybody. So today we're just going to talk about some getting started tips, some tips that can help you launch your business, but then also when you get somebody started, get them started on the right track. So one of the first things I always do with everybody that comes into my organization is first I got to figure out why they want this. See, because if I never know why a person wants this, how do I know how hard to push them? See, some people get in this business, they want to make a lot of money. They want to make as much, they don't care how, there's really no amount to how much they can make as long as they build something. Some people want to leave a legacy for the people behind them. But some people get into this industry that just want to make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. So I'll give you an example of this. If Ed's on here, so if Ed told me all I want to do is make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month, why would I push him like somebody that wants to make high money, like six figures, $1 millionaire? Because that's not what Ed wants. Ed just wants a little extra money maybe to maybe go fishing or maybe go hunting, buy some golfing gear, whatever it may be. That's where you got to figure out why. And then you got to help that person figure out why. So when I first sit down with somebody, if Ed was the person I was sitting down when he just got going with me, I'd be like, Ed, why do you want to do this business? So Ed, since you unmuted, I would love for you to interact because I want to help you. I want to help you so you can see what you got to do. And with this process, you guys, it may take you 30 minutes to an hour sometimes, but it's very, very important because if you can help a person get started off right, they will stick around with you a lot longer. And sometimes for a lifetime, if you can help them get going correctly. So Ed, why is it so based off of why you got started with this business when Wanda shared it with you? Why is it? And why did you want to get started with this, Ed?
My health, number one.
Okay.
That's so number one. The money was, secondary. But when you're sick and you had all the toys that you want or could travel anytime you wanted, those were not my issues. I'd done that my whole life. But getting well so I could enjoy the rest of my life, that was it. Now, the couple that I signed up, or Kim and I signed up on Saturday.
Hold on. One second. I'm gonna cut you off because I want to help you figure out this why. This is what I want you to do with your people. Before you start, but before we go off on why we signed this person. See, this call is about the steps on helping you figure out why. So you said for your health. And Ed, what I would do is I would dig a little bit deeper with the person and say, okay, so why would you want your health to be better? What would you say then?
And this is what got me to Marcellus. Okay, he saw my transformation from walking with a cane last February in March to being the front man at a benefit at the firehouse, and I was out there excited. And this is what I did. And here his wife is an amputee and he's a Gulf War veteran. So what he wants, another van, because he has trouble with his wife on having, the capabilities of doing that. So that's what we're working on for him, and getting him plugged in to you and your YouTube, and getting him plugged into Wanda and Miss Kim and Todd and David.
So then taking from what you just said, Ed, see, because I'm a big person I'm a pen and paper type person. So if you're like me, that's what you would do. You just grab yourself a piece of paper, maybe write that person's name down. I would write down Ed. And what I would put down based off of what Ed just shared with me, why he joined this business. And I would say because of his health. He wants to improve his health, and he already went through a life-changing experience. He wants to take that experience and share it with the world and help out as many people just like him. See, now I know why Ed is doing this. See, so now me, for instance, with me knowing that, I can't go to Ed and say, Ed, I can show you how to make $10,000. That's not what Ed wants right now. Ed wants to impact the people around him right now. So even though with this business, we know we can impact the world, Ed's impact right now, he wants to impact the people in his community and the people that he knows right now. So I wouldn't push Ed to like, Ed, we need to help you get to optimizing the leg. I wouldn't go into that because that's not what he wants right now. He doesn't understand that. So you got to keep it right there with him. Help him, Ed. I know you want to impact people, but so what I would have took from that why is I would have said, Ed, I know you want to help people. So the best way to help people is, let's go to step 2, which is, this is where we go. The way you help people is, first you got to identify who you want to help. So let's grab a piece of paper and pen, and I will help them create a list. That's why I said number 2 was create a list. Ed, do me a favor. Take a piece of paper, write down 1 to 25, and just write down 25 people you want that you know off the top of your head that could utilize and benefit from this product. And just sit there and help him make that list. People can identify family members or friends that they know that could just benefit from the products. So that's why I create that list. But then also, Ed he didn't just order products, he did join the business. So then I'm gonna ask Ed, after he makes a list of 25 people that can utilize the product, I'm gonna say, Ed, let me help you also build a business to, generate some extra income so you can travel around to these different places on making extra money. Like, you can make extra money so it'll pay for that. So you could travel to Maryland, so you can travel to Virginia, so you could travel to California. Let's help you make a little extra money so you can go travel and impact some more lives, of your friends and family. See, I took his small vision and gave him a little bit of how he can utilize the business to expand his vision and his goal. And so then now I help him. Okay, so now, Ed, let's make another list of 25 people that are some hard workers. Some people that that are entrepreneurs. Some people that that's in your community that can, impact people. That's creating your list. You give them ideas of maybe some teachers, some coaches, because there's a lot of people out there looking for extra income. I know you join this, really to impact people, but do you know that you can also impact people with their finances? How many people do we know that are struggling financially? So, hey, so I'm taking his small goal, his small vision, and I'm implementing on how he can do both. He can impact people's lives health-wise, but he can also impact people's lives financially. See, a lot of people we know may just join for the products like Ed. And Ed, I'm so glad Ed spoke up, because a lot of people are like him that just want to do the help. Kim Gray was like that. Y'all leader was just like that, wanted to do straight help, wasn't interested in the business. But as Kim Bailey and Todd dripped on her and helped her understand that it was a way to make extra money. See, because I believe money isn't evil. It's just something that it's a tool that God allowed to be here. If God didn't want to hear it, wouldn't be here, point blank, period. That's just the honest to God truth. So you can say what you want about money, but money is still something that we all need. We all need money to pay our bills. We all have bills. We all have rent. We all have mortgage. We all have cell phone. We all have light bills. We have all these bills that we have to pay. So let's not disregard the fact that the people are going through that. So when you're making your list, I always have everybody do this. I was just talking with Melissa, a young lady, a lady I got going. I did this training with them. Chuck had somebody sign up. I did this training with them. And guess what? Both of them have started off right. This was within the last week, because I got back to what works and what duplicates. And see, when you do this, people, when they get started, they're more willing to do just right. And I give it, the reason I say doing this right here works, because Samina did this. This lady named Samina that got going. I'm going to read it exactly how she said. She sent the message. She said, I've invited someone to a Zoom meeting. I did not tell her what it was about. She's around my age and struggles with weight. She's free after 5 p.m. When are you available? And so, but see, when you do it right, because I did the invitation process, I'm going to show you some inviting tips here in just a second. But because I went through these steps, not only did she schedule one, but a few minutes later, she says, hey, I have another coworker who would like to, who I would like to introduce Slenderize to. What is the best way for me to go about it? She still hasn't told the prospects what she has going on. And when you can get more people doing that, you will have more presentations going for you. So after we create that list, well, you know, 2 lists. I always say start off with 2 lists. 2 lists. One is 25 people that could just utilize the products. Because when you start to build your belief with the product, and then you get the people you love and care about on the products where they start losing weight, having more energy, dealing with inflammation. So once you start having that, your excitement goes up through the roof even more. But then you go to another list, and now you're starting to help. Now you can start building your network with these other people. And these are your business builders. Well, in a lot of cases, sometimes the people that become customers also or business builders as well. But you start to allow them to realize, like, hey, I do know people. So you help them make the list. And this may take 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Sometimes you got to break these getting started trainings up. And I want to mention that to you. Some people say, well, I don't have an hour to do that, or I don't have an hour and a half to do that. Great. Well, do 30 minutes there. Find another 15, 20 minutes time period to do the next 2 steps. See, you never want to finish up a presentation or a training without scheduling the next training. I always remember that, you guys. You never want, so for instance, if I'm talking to Melissa and Melissa tells me, hey, I have 30 minutes, I can kind of go through it. The first 2 may take 30 minutes alone. Figuring out her why, because that's very, very important. If you don't know why your team and the people you bring in are doing it, then you don't know how hard to push them. See, for instance, I know Melissa and Andrew, they're part of my organization. And guess what? I know that they want to leave a legacy for their grandson and their future grandkids. They want to build something that lives on forever after them. So I know how hard to push them. Ed wants to join for, now I know Ed's why. He wants to show people on, you know, the products and impact the people around him right now. And we're going to help Ed build the vision that, Ed, you can impact the whole world once you realize what you got your hands on. But see, they have to come down the road. But I figured out why. I know Diane and Hill on her. I know they want to leave a legacy. They want to leave a legacy. They want to help as many people as they can, and they want to leave a legacy for their family. And they want to do something that's never been done before. So it's things like that. But then, so that, like I said, that may take 30 minutes and that may take 40 minutes. But you got to kind of know your people's time slots. If you know they're busy, don't overwhelm them with 2-hour training. Maybe you got to do it 30 minutes here. Oh, well, you know what? I know you got to get back to work. I just want to talk to you 30 minutes on your lunch break. And let's jump back on the Zoom. Maybe you got some time tonight, or would you want to get back on tomorrow at lunchtime? And we could do some more things that I believe can help you take it to the next level. So you figure it out. This may take one all at one. If they got time, you take an hour, hour and a half and really help them get started. Like I did Samina on Saturday. This was Saturday. I did her getting started training. I did this Saturday. I spent an hour and a half with her. And now she got, matter of fact, she just sent me another message just as we speaking that she has another person that wants to hear about it. But because I spent an hour and a half with her on Saturday during the football games, when everything else was going on, I spent my free time to make sure that this got going right. And so when you do things like that, it shows the people that you care. People don't care what you have until they know that you care. So show people that you care, definitely if they bought from you. These people bought products from you. These people ordered off of your website. These people joined you. So now you got to show them you care. Every time somebody new joins you personally or somebody in your organization, they need to become your new best friend. For example, I know Hill just signed up somebody yesterday or the day before. That new person needs to become Hill's best friend. He needs to figure out a way to just be able to conversate with them on a daily basis. You find a way to, when Melissa and them just signed up, they signed up a couple of new people. Guess what? I'm texting them like I've been knowing them. Because I love Melissa and them, but now it's time to move on to help them. The only way I help Melissa and them grow is by helping the new people that they brought in have success. And the only way I help them is help the new people find success. It's not that I don't love Melissa and them the same, but I'm going to take their new brand partners call before theirs because I want to help them by, how do I help them? not calling them, I'm not listening to, even though Melissa doesn't do this, but not listening to her complaints about something, but by helping her new people find new brand partners and new customers. That's how you grow your business. So after we take that list, now this is very, very important, you guys. These next two go hand in hand. Number 3 and number 5, really, which you see me post. I kind of put them out of order, but it is scheduling 2 launch parties. I watch so many people get away from launch parties. We call them launch party. You call it a launch Zoom party. You can call it a launch party in your home. But these are very, very important, and launch 2-on-1s for the people who can't make it to the party, or maybe not too close to you, or maybe like Ed mentioned, he got people in Maryland. He got people kind of all over. Of course, I'm always going to want Ed to work in his own backyard. I always say work in your own backyard first because they're close to you. You can go sit down. You can mingle with them. You can break bread with them. You can have lunch with them. You can all these different type things. So you want to set up 2 launch parties within the first 10 days that they got started. Don't prolong this. Don't prolong it. They got in. Definitely so customers is different. You fall in love with them, you drip on them, you help them out. But if they joined you for the business and they ordered a pack, it's time for you to sit down and help them get 2 launch parties set up within the next 10 days. So the way I do the launch parties, and I say, hey, Melissa, I want to help you. Or in this case, I'll use Paul. Paul's on here. I'm going to use Paul this time. I'll be like, hey, Paul, knowing Paul, if you don't mind, unmute and interact with me for a second here. I want to show y'all how this works. I'm gonna say, I think Paul can unmute. Paul, you should be able to unmute.
Oh,
okay, there you go. Okay, so I'm gonna be like, hey, Paul, knowing your schedule, Paul, what do you do for a living?
I write books.
Write books. Okay, so based off of that, me knowing Paul, like this is somebody who already joined, but I don't know Paul's story like that. But based off what he just told me, he writes books. So I'm gonna say, hey, Paul, over the next 2 weeks, I know you may be busy, writing your books and having different things with the family, but based on your schedule, what 2 days could we have a launch party for you so we can help you get this, so we can help you get your journey off on the right start?
Let's see. Why don't we do one Saturday and one Tuesday evening?
Saturday and Tuesday. Okay, Paul. What time on Saturday you think you'd be good to get your friends, your close friends, your close family members together based off the list that you share with me? When you think we can, what time on Saturday you think would be good?
How about 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock. Bam.
Right.
Okay.
That work for you?
Yeah, that works. Paul, hey, and always remind your people that get started with you that you work for them. See the difference between this and the nuclear plant that Ed worked at, or when I worked with Apple, or when Melissa worked as a correctional officer, or when Wanda works at her job, and all of us that had jobs before, is that instead of working for somebody, you now work for your brand partner. You watch Kim Gray do, Wanda and Kim. I mean, I see Marla and Melanie on here. Well, guess what? Kim Bailey works hand in hand with all of them. Margaret, all of y'all. Kim Bailey goes above and beyond. See, he understands that the only way he has success is by helping y'all have success. So now get yourself out the way. Say, hey, I have available these times, and I would love to open up the time to help you, Paul. I want to help you have success. So 3 o'clock works on Saturday. What time were you thinking, like Tuesday evening when people kind of get off work?
How about 7 o'clock?
Perfect. So now so again, you confirm what they just said. So Saturday at 3 o'clock, would you like to do something at your home, or would you like to get a Zoom together? I mean, being at home, we can break bread, we can shake hands. Maybe on Tuesday, if you want, we can do the Zoom. Did that work?
Can we do a Zoom at home and do both?
We can do both. We can do both. We can do both. So now I allow him to communicate where he has 2 options where he can bring his close friends, his close family members together and sit down. I did the same thing with Samina. Chuck had a new lady. If Chuck was on here, he would tell you the same thing. And we did this. I had another guy that did this right here. But then also get this. Some of the friends and family that he want to invite aren't going to have time to come to that launch party. Mm-hmm. So that's why I said another thing is help them schedule 2-on-1s. See, I can call Ed. Let's just say Ed was still working at the nuclear power plant. He may be busy on Saturday and on Tuesday, but he's off on Sunday. And I'll be like, well, Paul, me and Paul, Paul says, well, Ed is my friend, but he works at the power plant and he's busy on those days. You think we can meet up? Okay. And then that's where you find out when that person has some time, where they free on Sunday. And then that's where you say, hey, you know what, Paul? Get me on the 3-way call with Ed. I'm going to help you set up a 2-on-1 where the 3 of us can sit down on Zoom or at his house. Maybe we can go to his house. Maybe he can meet us at the coffee shop. See, these people that you wrote down, the first list, probably the first 100 people you write down, you won't even mind inviting them to your house. Now, after that, it starts getting kind of weird. You may say, you know what, I'll meet them at the coffee shop. I'll meet them at Denny's, wherever. You know, I always say when you're doing a presentation, find somewhere a little quieter than like a restaurant or something like that, because they can get kind of loud. But you can go to Starbucks. You can go to coffee shops. You can go to the library and kind of sit in one of their little rooms. You can do things like that. Shoot, I'd rather talk to somebody at the back of a pickup truck than talk to them in a restaurant that's busy. Because now it's not confusion. It's not a lot of things going on. So lunch parties, this is what I went through with all the everybody new that comes into my business. I go through these steps. So I scheduled the lunch parties. Then I help them schedule the 2-on-1s. But what I do is I don't abandon them. Say, hey, go invite people. I'm going to show you. No, now Paul told me that this is what he want to do. Ed told me this is what he want to do. Now what I'm going to do? I'm going to say, hey, Paul, I'm going to help you invite. I know this may be new to you. So let me do this, Paul. And a lot of y'all will say, well, I didn't get all this. Well, okay, well, now that's fine. What you didn't get, now it's time for you to go forward. You can go forward and start doing this with the people that you brought in so they can have a good start. All of y'all are leaders. Y'all not on a Zoom at 1 o'clock, almost 2 o'clock here in Central Time or 3 o'clock on the Eastern Time. You're not on a Zoom in the middle of the day because you don't want to learn. You're watching this recording or something because you want to have success. And so now that means you are a leader. You were born a leader anyway. Some of y'all just haven't noticed it or recognized that you are a leader. You are a leader. You are the next Wanda Vines. You are the next Melanie Gustler. You are the next Paul Taylor. See, you are a leader. You were born a leader. You just got to figure it out that, you know what, I can do this. I heard Diane say it on Sunday's call that she started having belief. So you got to believe that that this is for you and that you are a leader and, talk like it. Hey, I hear Ed always tell me, yeah, I'm new to this. Well, guess what, Ed? You were new when you signed up. You ain't new no more. So right now it's just time to figure. Now it's just, okay, let's just help you develop your skills. And you develop skills by jumping on things like this, reading books like this. I want to show y'all different books. You want to put yourself in a different category than other people in this industry. Go find you 5 network marketing books and read them. Do you know 98% of the people in our industry won't even read a book on network marketing? And they wonder why people like Todd, Kim Bailey, Kim Gray start Kim hasn't made it just yet. She's right on the cusp of it. But to take it to that next level, she's gonna have to educate her mind. Like, I got that book as well, Wanda. I love that book. So it's around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. I got that book as well. Never run out of people to talk to. So, but it's books out here, you guys, that can help you develop. I see Nancy, I think your background. See, but if you there's these books right here, these 4, and Beach Money would be the only other one I would recommend to a brand new person. All these books right here, Never Run Out of People to Talk to. This will probably be the last one I recommend just because I want you to go through the steps first and then get there. But like GoPro this is something I send all the new people in my organization. This book. You can go on Eric Worre's little site and order like 10, 20 of them at a time. The reason why, if they joined your business, they just need some of the skills to help them develop. I was telling Melissa earlier, she was like, we just talking. And I told her, so one of the things I used to do, so one of the things I encourage you to do also is read this book as well. But before you start inviting, go read the chapter inviting. Read it before you start inviting. So it could be take some notes and be like, you know what, I could say it like this, because you develop in your mind over time. This is how I got good. I didn't go to school to be in sales. I didn't go to school to be a network marketer. I was computers. That's why I'm so good at. That was my major. So I'm good at technology and different things, but I developed the skills by reading and then studying, writing it down, then implementing, failing. I failed so many times. I'm telling you this all the time. I did exactly what Ed did for about 2.5 weeks, where I overtalked and I didn't know what I was talking about. I just didn't. I tried to do everything myself, thinking that's how it was supposed to be done. But I had to realize Tim Sales as well. See, I didn't find out the Tim Sales till later on in my career, but I just happened to find it was a lady named Danny Johnson that had did network marketing, and I read her book called First Steps to Wealth, and it was in that book it talked about different things that helped me really, really implement. But I learned how to do things like this and read it every single day. I read a piece of it every day. So if you want to get good at inviting, maybe you got to watch. Maybe you don't like to read. Well, go find a video and watch it every day for the next 10 days or so. Before you call and start inviting, maybe you got to get better at inviting. See, everything is going to take some process. You can't be great at inviting, then great at follow up all at once. Everything takes time. You got to learn how to invite, then you got to learn how to present, then you got to learn how to follow up, and then you got to learn how to follow up again, and then you got to learn how to repeat. It's over and over and over and over. Then you got to learn how to develop leaders. That's what this is about. See, all of y'all will be able to develop y'all people if you take the skills and learn them and implement them over and over. So with the inviting process, all I do is I say, hey, Melissa, I want to help you do this. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get on the phone, or if I'm sitting down with that person, it's always even better if you could sit down and say, hey, if your friend, if you care about enough about your family member or friend, you invite them over to your house, or you come down and sit down with you. Hey, I'm coming by your house on Saturday. And I want to help you get started on this on the right track. I want to help you get started on the right track. I just want to spend an hour with you. I want to spend 30 minutes with you, whatever time they have. If they tell you, say, well, one thing I would have did with Paul, say, hey, Paul, are you free on Are you free Thursday after you get off work? And we spend 30 minutes to an hour and kind of get this thing rolling?
No, not Thursday. So some other day we could do it.
Maybe Wednesday or Friday, one of those days work where we can spend some time?
Wednesday would be better.
Perfect. That's perfect timing, because then it gives us time to invite to your parties come Saturday and come Sunday. So then I'm saying, hey, you know what, Paul, let's how much time would you say you have? 30 minutes, an hour? How much time would you say you have?
I could do an hour.
Okay, great. 6 o'clock work when you get off work? And we just kind of just talk and I want to help you do
6:15. Give me a chance to get a bite to eat.
Perfect. Bam. Now I put that down. See, I scheduled an appointment with Paul. Paul's already in, but I'm still showing him you schedule appointments. You never leave an appointment without setting the next appointment. You know what book I learned that from? This book. Because I read this book over and 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 over. You never schedule an appointment without scheduling the next one. So with that being said, now me and Paul got this get lunch thing getting started. Now, in that process, I'm sitting with Paul. So in this case, I'm gonna be like, hey, Paul, when we get to the inviting, Paul, I'm right here. I want you to pick up the phone and let's call your friend Ed. So Paul, I want you to pretend like you were calling it. Well, Ed, you don't have to talk or anything, but just Paul, interact how you would call Ed and invite him. Let me just see how you would do it, Paul.
Hey, Ed, how you doing? Yeah, I've got something pretty exciting I'm pretty excited about in my life. And when would you have a few minutes for me to come by your house and show you what we're doing?
And that's a perfect invitation. Now, another way I would invite, because he didn't say anything, he just invited him. Whether Ed says yes or no, well, what is it? Well, hey, one of the things when you're inviting, you always want to remember people is if you start trying to if you find yourself trying to explain what this marker is about, oh, it's a black marker, it's made by Expo, it's a dry erase marker, you're doing too much. Mm-hmm. It can go for the same thing as Renew. If I call Diane and I'm talking to Diane about, I really want to share Renew with her, and I get on here and I'm start talking about, hey, I got something to improve your cell regeneration, boost energy and stamina. No, I'm doing too much. Let the tools do the work for you. Wanda, Mark, let the tools on your inviting process short and sweet. I always remember you heard Fred talk about it. Fred did amazing few trainings on inviting. So, there's no perfect way, but it's keeping it short and sweet and doing it with as many people as you possibly can. So I sit there and I listen to Paul invite. And then at the end, I'm saying, hey, Paul, I'm not here to judge you or any kind of way, but maybe Paul had messed up. Maybe Paul had gotten into the like, hey, Ed, I got something that I believe could be very lucrative. You can make a lot of money with it. It got these products. They got Precordant in it. Got, it deals with HGH. And at the end of it, I'm gonna be like, hey, Paul, I loved your excitement. But what I would have done is I would have kept it short and sweet. Remember how I always remember people how you invited them. Hey, you remember when I was telling you about everything and, you asked me like Samina, well, I did this training with Samina the other day and she said, well, yeah, I'm a little nervous. I don't know what to say. And I said, well, Samina, let me ask you this. How did I invite you? Well, I asked you what you had going on because I seen your post and I just wanted to know more information. And you asked me, did I have time for a Zoom? I said, great. And I said, Samina, can you do that same thing? Can you get me on the Zoom with your friends and your family? And she's like, I can. I said, allow me to work for you. So always remind your new people to remind them to work for you. Because I'm gonna be honest, everybody won't have fast success. Everybody won't have excitement for a long time. See, it's a great blessing that Ed stuck around. We got Ed plugged into the income producing activity to keep his mind on it. But sometimes people like Ed, unfortunately, fall off to the wayside because they don't get the initial start that they need to. And I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people my age, if you don't get them paid, you losing them. You're gonna lose your kids, your grandkids. You're gonna lose the people in the 20s and 30s if you don't get them paid. Why? Because most people my age, we're used to going to work for a week or 2 weeks, and the following week, most of us work a week in the hole and then we get paid. So you got to get them paid. See, a lot of people my age haven't had that season of, building up wealth. A lot of us, we got to go get it. We got to make, so that's why this is very important. If you're talking to 20 and 30-year-olds, you got to get them going quickly. Me and Todd had this conversation, and Todd would tell you, he straight up asked me, he said, what? I said, you know what helped me out? When I made a $68 check in my first week. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough to show me it was real. You got to figure out a way to get them paid quickly. Figure out a way to get them paid quickly. Show them the ropes quickly. Young people's attention span is very, very short nowadays. If the new app ain't been updated on their phone, they like, oh, what's going on? They lose. Oh, well, let me go jump on a different social media platform because their attention span isn't there long enough. So if they lose interest on the app quick, what you think they're gonna lose interest on the business quick if you don't get them paid? I don't care if it's $15 you get them paid. Find a way to get them paid quickly. The quicker you do these steps, the quicker you can get them paid because you set the launch party for them. You help them. Now, some people may say, well, I don't want people at my house. Well, okay, well, I don't want to. Well, can we just go sit down with them one by one? Great. Do it like that. Launch parties just build excitement because you got a group of people in the room and nobody wants to be felt left out. Then also I take them into a few things. The next two things I do is I show them how to set up direct deposit and subscribe and save. I say, hey, I get on the computer, I bring my laptop with them. I say, hey, we got to make sure that when you do get somebody going, you get paid. So let's set up your subscribe and save. And then I explain subscribe and save. You always got to kind of want to know to explain to them like, hey, subscribe and save is like, if it's like a regular business, is like keeping your lights on. If you got a warehouse or you got this, if the lights ain't on, the water ain't on, you ain't got business. So subscribe and save is your lights in this business. This business is different than traditional business. They only say that, hey, you have 100 PV or spend $150 every 4 weeks and your business is qualified to earn commissions. So let me help you go through the process. You show them a couple of options they had, maybe renew in the 2 5-day trial packs or whatever, whatever. And then you always let them know, hey, we got many, many products, but I'm going to show you some different links you can watch and you can read up on those on your free time. Then the next step, you guys, is showing them how they get paid. So now this part right here is something every single one of y'all could do on a piece of paper, on a napkin. This is what I do. I went back old school. Now I got a board because this was the board I had that rolled around with me in the car. And when people got started with me, if I'm sitting down, even at a 2-on-1, I used to always bring the board and Starbucks and everything. I'm still old school, and that's what I'm gonna do until we get the videos that could do it for me. So I used to always show people like, hey, you guys. So people always say, well, they join you because they want to make some money. So I always mention like, hey, you got started with your business for $29.99. For $30, you got your business started. Hope everybody can see that. Can everybody see that? No? Okay.
Not very well.
Not very well. Okay, let me put it up here. So you got, hopefully that's better. Well, there we go. Hopefully. But maybe if I use a different color marker. Maybe the blue just ain't gonna work. Maybe if I use black. Let's see. Is that better? No?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I can see it.
That's a little better? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I always let people know, hey, you got started for $29.99. You. I don't know why I closed it. So you got started. You got started for this. This started your business. The next thing is that some people may just get started just like this, and you got to let them know what they did. Well, in order to activate the business, this is what I say. In order to activate the business, you need 200 PV, 200 points. You need 200 points. That's going to activate your business. And I always write it out for them just to kind of let them know, hey, that activates your business. Right here at Activate, you're going to receive 15% commissions or whatever coming to your business. The first step I want to help you do is maximize your pay coming in on your commissions. So I say, hey, in order to do that, we got to get you to these next levels. Now, if they already did it, I still show this even with people who came in at Ultimate Pack because I want them to understand that everybody that they invite ain't going to do Ultimate Pack. Some people going to do some people gonna just do Boss and order one product. Some people gonna do Activate Pack, business packs. And I just let them know, like, hey, the different levels that we have, and this is what I've been doing with people, and it's been working very, very well, is it allows people to see it because this ain't shown on the videos that we got. So it went, okay, I want to help you get to these next levels. And when you do 500 PV, and this could be either what you order or what you like, somebody comes and order as a customer, buy from you. And then I want to help you get down here to Elite. Yeah. The reason why is I want to help you get to Elite, Paul, is because, down to Ultimate is because you can get 30% commissions no matter what.
Cool.
Life. This is one of my ultimate goals, is helping you get here. The reason why is because I want you to be maximized pay forever. I want to help you do that. The next step I want to help you do is what we call gold. And I remind them of the things we just did. So at your launch party and that list we created, out of that list, we're going to help you find some people that just want to, order as customers, that just, help them. They just want to feel better. Well, I remind Paul, if Paul came in and Activate, I'm like, Paul, no matter what these customers order, you're going to get 15% for life. Or if Paul had came in business, I let him know, like, Paul, you're going to get 20% commissions because you have business. Now, when we get you to Ultimate, it's going to help you. It's going to turn from 20% to 30% or 15% to 30% for life. And I explain that to them, like how they can increase their pay, because people want to get, it's like a raise for them at the beginning. If they only getting 15% and then they go from 30%, that's double. So you let them know, hey, I don't want you leaving any money on the table. And then I say, hey, we're going to do gold. And the way we do gold here is out of everybody that you wrote down on your list, and I always show them my list. So how many of y'all have y'all list on a piece of paper, like on paper? Y'all got a list on paper. How many of y'all have more than 50 people on y'all list? Well, if you don't have over 50 people, this is what the problem is. You're prejudging. You are prejudging. You're making a decision for your family members and friends. If that list of yours does not have over 50 people, because I promise you this, if I ask Diane to see her phone, she has well over 500 contacts in her phone that aren't even in the business. Paul, you do too. Marcus, you do too. Melissa, you do too. Wanda, Melanie, Marla, all y'all have contacts in y'all phone that's in your phone for a reason. Let me do this. Let me say this. If you did not write if you did not write that person that's in your phone on that list, you might just want to delete their number. Because you don't even care enough to share something that can help out their health or their finances. We're not making the decision for people. You want the people to make their own decision, but you didn't want them coming back and say, or you didn't want to feel sad when they go home to the good Lord and you didn't even share the product with them. How many of y'all would feel sad if you had a cousin that you knew that these products could possibly help out, and then next thing you know, you find out they're in the hospital? See, that's the thing. You don't prejudge. Just say, hey, I want you to listen. I believe these products can help you out. Or I believe I have something that can help you out. That's what I would say. I wouldn't even say products. I believe I have something to help you out. Find somebody to help you present and just share. Don't prejudge. Do not prejudge the list. Write the names down and just get the calling. Going back to this, I say, hey, I want to help you go gold. And we do gold by helping you find 4 people that want to do this business with you. 4 people that come in with the $29.99, we help them activate. What that does is gold. And I'm real big on sharing stories. I always get good at sharing stories. A lot of people don't even know why gold is so important. Well, matching bonus. I tell them, I say, hey, it was this older couple. The wife was a professor up in Michigan. She got going. Her and her husband got going. They hit gold. They hit gold in Ultimate within their first couple of weeks. One of the people they shared with was one of the top students in her class was from China. She got going. She asked, can she take this back to China? They said, yeah, we do business in China. Do you know that lady now is one of the top 5 income earners in our whole company? She does on average about $2 million a year income that she brings in for herself. Well, because of matching bonus and hitting gold, that couple gets 15%. I'm sorry, 20% of whatever that lady makes because they went gold and Ultimate. So out of that $2 million that lady from China, they get 20% matching bonus. They get $200,000 into their bank account by just going gold. So I just want to help you go gold because I don't ever want you to miss out on any money just in case somebody you come in blows it up. It's 15%. I thought it was, well, Marla may be right. Maybe 15%. So it's 15%, then is it 10%? And then 5 all the way down? It might be that way. So it's one of them. It's either 20, 15. I think Marla is right. I mean, Melanie is right. It's 15%. But I show them I just don't want them missing out on money. 15%, then, on the next level, I think it's 10%, and then it's 5% for a few levels down. So it's a few levels down. But I always show them that because I say, hey, I don't want you to miss out on nobody. Because when we help you find 4, all we're going to do is turn around and do this over again. Help you start building leverage. And we do that by helping you find at least 4. And then I always share. Matter of fact, most of y'all been on here. How many of y'all have enrolled more than 4 people before? If you enroll more than 4 people, raise your hand. Great. I always find a number kind of that is around average of yours and just say that. Say, hey, Ed, I know you just got started, so it's a little different for you. So what you say is like for me, out of 12 years, I did the research. I looked it up on one of my reports. Out of the last 11 years, going on 12 years, I've enrolled well over 600 customers and brand partners with myself. And I just let them know, like, so, hey, all I needed was 4, but I just kind of throw that picture out there for them. Throw that picture out there for them, you guys. Throw it out there. Let them know. If you enroll 20 people, then say it. If you enroll 8 people, say, hey, all you need is 4, but I enroll 8 people. I enroll 100 people. I've enrolled, kind of find a number or kind of, kind of in your head, like, hey, you know what? I've done this and this. I enrolled this many customers, and kind of let them know, like, hey, you know what? I say 4, but you can enroll as many as you want because you can go as fast as you want with this. And then I say, hey, we're going to turn around and help them find 4. I show it to them. And I show them 16. Then I say, hey, we're going to do it another level. And then that'd be 64 people. And then we go, let's say we went another level, be over 256 people. And I had Serena say, she said, oh, I got to enroll 300 some people. I said, no, you enrolled 4. We just helped you find 4. Then we helped those find 4. I'm going to spend time. We're going to spend time with your friends and family that come on board and help them. And so then I draw it out and I say, hey, once you start doing that, you start building this residual income because you got all these people. Let's say it went down and you had, 1,000 people ordering on a monthly basis. I always show people, say, hey, what if you had over 1,000 people ordering? And let's say worst case scenario, you were making $5 a person. Well, that's over $5,000 a month. Could that help you out? And everybody gonna say, yeah, that helped me out drastically. Yeah, some people say, well, that's more than what I make. Well, yeah, that's down the road, And then you paint that vision for them and say, hey, you know what? If it took you, and you can kind of put whatever number you want down there, because you if you want to keep going, you can keep going. I normally go one more level. I always say 256 would be, 512, and then I do that 512, I'd be like 1,024, because I just kind of want to show them that number because I want them to see this. I say, hey, that's about 1,400 people in your organization. Then you do times $5 a person. That's well over 1,000 to be. Why we should say 5,000 and half of that. 500. So it's like, hey, that's like $1,700 for you. That's like $6,700 a month for you right there. $7,000 a month for you. And I was like, hey, would that be something you'd be interested in? A lot of people say, yeah, absolutely. And then that's where you say, well, hey, this ain't something that's going to happen overnight, but if it took you 2, maybe 4 years to do that, would that be something you want to stick around and do? And most people are going to say yes, unless they're afraid of money, which most people aren't because they join the business with you. So when you say that, then you help them out. And then now you got something going. You show them a little short vision, and then we repeat. That little step kind of, and I say, hey, you can make way more money than that. We got the savings bonus. You kind of mentioned some of the things, income position bonus. You got pay line bonus. You got other ways. So that's just residual income and some upfront commissions. But in actuality, you can make more than that. And so I just show people that. I draw it on a piece of paper for them. I just talk about, and you can always just remember, when you draw it out on a piece of paper, just remember those couple of things. Ultimate and gold. That's different. The reasons why ultimate is important. Find those different, and then helping them find 4 people. If you could just do that over and over and over and over, help people. Everybody who comes into your organization, before they say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, say, hey, I want to help you get your money back. Well, the best way to help somebody get their money back is help them find 4 people. Help them find some customers, get on the product. They made their money back. So worst case scenario, your family members and friends can't say this. You got me on something and it did not work. No, we got you involved. You ordered some products, got your health better. You made your money back. So what do you have to lose? Then also they locked in their spot because now down the road, they may come back and, say, hey, I want to relaunch. I have a lot of people that did just that. They did ultimate and gold. Life got in the way from hurricanes in New Orleans with a lot of my team members, from floods, happening in their homes, from them losing their job, having to move or whatever it may be. But because I helped them go gold and ultimate and get some money back and lock in their spot 2 years, 5 years down the road, a lot of them say, hey, I want to be involved again. And so that's the tips I have. Did anybody have any questions about those tips? And of course, I forgot who it was that posted it. We have things like boards. Like I think it was Marla that posted, or somebody posted about boards and training calls. But that's also things that you got to figure out their why. See, because, and then also boards goes with the renew. So if you're pushing the renew system of growth, great, use boards because it's another tool that goes right along with it. Until you create a board for everything else, I don't like to overwhelm people. Even when Ed called me, I kept it real basic with Ed. I didn't say, Ed, you got to learn how to do all these different type of things. I didn't say, Ed, you got to invite, you got to create a list, you got to invite, and you got to present. No, I said, Ed, I want to help you start learning how to invite better. And ask him. I sent him a video where he can check it out himself. Use tools of things that can help you out. If you don't have that hour to sit down with somebody, find a good video that helps people invite. Give them some tips. Find a video that helps people show how to create a list. Really, I don't even think you should find a video for the list. You need to sit down with them and help them create the list. This is a business. You need to spend some time sitting down helping your new people create a list. And you need to help them invite. You need to spend some kind of time with them. They joined you, so help them. Find a way to help them invite, because that's where I see a lot of people mess up at. Over talking. And if they had good training with it, then they'll figure it out. And just like all the new people that's coming in board, and I'm sitting down spending 30 minutes here, an hour here, an hour and a half here. Hey, guess what? It's all worth it. People are enrolling, people are coming in, people are excited. Like Samina just texted me a few seconds ago. She said, I'm excited and nervous. She don't know what she doing. But because I did the training with her, getting started training, Diane, you and Hill just signed somebody up. Well, they just got going. So within these first 48 hours, you need to be figuring out a time where y'all can either sit down with them personally or jump on Zoom with them. I did mine with Samina on Zoom because she lives in Shreveport, which is about 2.5 hours from me. And I haven't made it down there yet. But boom. So find time. Anybody new you got coming on board? Nancy, I know you got some people in the pipeline. Melanie, I know you always signing people up because I always see it. Marla too. And I always see them signing people up. So find time. Find 30 minutes here, hour here. Maybe you could do 2 people at one time, 3 people at one time. Maybe you signed up 3 people in one day. Okay, well, hey, I'm doing a little getting started training here at this time. I want you to be on here because I want you to have success. Unless they say they just want to do the products. But Samina told me that too. Samina told me, she said, hey, she told me and Melissa, hey, I want to get a transformation before I do how many times we heard that, I want to get a transformation before I start talking about it. But because I did this getting started training the other day on Saturday, her products ain't even made it because of the holiday yesterday. She already has 3 appointments set up for tonight. So questions, anything y'all have, y'all feel free to unmute this. I wanted this to help out you guys. Anything y'all may have, ask. So go ahead, ask any question y'all may have.
Anthony?
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say that was the most awesome training I've attended in a long time.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to kind of break it down how I do with people and
very simplistic, but very specific.
I'm glad you got some value from it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam Ant.
Yeah, awesome job.
Hey, I want everybody to have success. So utilize it. And I'll post this recording up so y'all can use it over and over and over. And maybe you had to go back and read. But I encourage y'all to, start listening to some audiobooks on network marketing. That would be my tip. My tip would be, hey, get some of those. I seen a lot of y'all have it. I seen Wanda with some. I seen Nancy with some. I seen Ed with some. I know Melissa had some. Utilize them, read them. And just find a chapter that maybe for the next 14, 20 days, you say, you know what? I just want to get better at inviting. How do I get better at inviting? Hey, Hill, you're not in this picture. You can't, you're not in this picture. It's Diane show this today. It's the Diane show. Hill, you should turn your own phone on. So, no, but find whichever area you want to develop. So Ed just got started. So presentation and following up, that's down the road. Ed, what I would suggest for you is the next 14 days, 20 days is focus on inviting. How can I get better at inviting? Find videos like I sent you and just watch it over and over and over until you get good at it. Paul, you told me you didn't have over 50 people. So my suggestion for you would be find a way to watch videos on how to create a list. Create a list because your list should be well over 50 people. Don't prejudge. You just write them down. You take a spiral, go get your spiral, and I want you to open up your phone to the contact list. Well, after you write down, you already got 40 people or so, 30, 40 people you already wrote down. I want you to get your contact list on your phone, and I just want you to go start from A, and I want you to write their name down. They're in your, if you won't even take the initiative to share with them, like I said, you might want to delete their number because that's somebody you don't care about. They might well just be a social media friend. But because you have their number, you care about them some kind of way. You either care about them because they impacted your life or they did a great service for you. Because a lot of y'all keep the mechanic's number in your phone. A lot of y'all keep y'all barber and beautician number in your phone. A lot of y'all keep y'all your nurses in your phone. Because why? Because they did something good to you. So how are you going to hold back the blessing for them? It may be a blessing. You don't know what they on their hands and knees praying about at nighttime. So I encourage you, Paul, just based off of what we talked about, is find some books or read a chapter. You had GoPro. Did you have GoPro? Yeah, I want you to go to the second. What chapter was it? It's one of these chapters. I want you to read that chapter over finding prospects. It'll be chapter 4 for you. It'll be chapter 4. I want you to read it and read it and read it and read it. And then also, if you can, grab this book right here. It's called Go for No. This will be a good book for you because now you can also find cold prospects and show you how to go for no, to create your list to become better. How many, and then also look at, I got mine right over here, but how many of y'all have these from people? Business cards from people that they gave you. So write those people down. You know what? Paul, this guy's name is Paul. He is a DJ, and I got his number. I'm going to ask him, I'm going to reach out. He goes on the list. I didn't keep the card for no reason. If I don't want the card, there's a thing called the trash. So go put it in the trash because it's taking up space. So don't prejudge. Write them down. Your job is to educate people on what we have. Your job is to educate people. For Ed, for Paul, for Nancy. A lot of y'all are kind of just launching y'all business off, either just launching it or relaunching it. So your job right now is to invite people. So Kim, so Ken, so myself, so Todd, so David. So for all your leaders, so they can make time to help you present, or myself, or it doesn't matter. You can cross line. Ask Melissa. I use her. I got her on 2 Zooms tonight, and it was a lady I enrolled. But I know I can't do it by myself because I'm finna talk to 2 ladies. I need somebody else that had a weight loss journey because I didn't have one. They're going to look at me like, how are you going to tell me about weight loss? You ain't never had to. So I had to find out something that can, and plus you find people that can relate to what you got and you get this done. But Paul, Ed, Diane, Wanda, Margaret, I hope y'all take the steps and go forward. I hope y'all really use it because I promise you, if you learn how to get your new people started correctly, it will pay off in the long haul. You'll have people that not only just order 2-3 months, they'll stick with you for a lifetime because you help them get started correctly. You really want people to stick around? There's 2 things that keep people sticking around. 1, getting them on a product that help change their life. 2, find one product. I don't care what product we have. See, the difference between us and I don't like to downplay any other company, but the difference between us and a company that maybe have services is a lot of them may be like insurance, and the only way you get insurance is how somebody has to die. So you don't want that. Like, why would you? Then also you got people that have other like save money on light bills and stuff like that. That's fine. You save a couple of dollars, but that's not life changing. We have products that are what? Life changing. Hey, get somebody feeling good. Get somebody being able to interact with their wife again, like Melissa and Andrew. Get somebody that's went through chemo, that's starting to have energy, ready to back riding a bicycle 5 miles a day, like Ed. That's impactful. But then the next way they keep people around, hey, help them make some money. Help them make a little money. I don't care what it is. Help them make $50, $100. Show them that it's real. Get a check that came to their direct deposit and I promise you it will build their belief of. I'll never forget Melissa's first check where she got. She was like, oh. And it wasn't something that broke her bank account, but she was like, oh, I got paid. Could you tell me how this worked? See, that's all it takes, getting somebody paid. So help your friends and your family members that come on with you, help them get paid. You help them get paid by going through these steps. And I promise you, with those two things, you could build a big old business. Cause mine started with 3 customers, 2 brand partners, and now I have 10, I got tens of thousands of people I work with. So you could do it as well. It just start with you, where you at. See you, Ed.
I just got Marcellus, the friend that was signed in on Saturday. He's plugged into Coach, which both of those are veterans. And he's contacting all of his veteran friends.
Hey, that's it right there. Let me stop this recording so we can use this recording for everybody. Hold on. Oh.